Alright, I like what you got there. Let me show you what I got. Check this out. Bring the bass line. Hey yo, shut it down.
These brothers my guys, know that we fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys on my side, see they act, never gotta roll with ice. Generations caught up, look how things will switch.
Welcome back to the channel. Those of you newcomers, go ahead and push that red subscribe button and join the family. As you can see, we're at the ticket counter and we're going to catch the train, and I was having a little trouble. But Miss Sophie was in her zone. She don't mean no harm. She just know where she going, and I don't know where I'm going. It didn't do. I don't know what I'm doing. Do I stick it in? What do I do? Huh? Eventually, I went up to the ticket counter and they got me straight on which way to go through, and I got through. Oh my God. Well, we're on our way. Where we're going is a place called PRB or PBR, and what it is, it's like a Goodwill. I didn't even know they had those here, so I'm really excited and can't wait till we get there. That's our stop. Okay, it's JBR. I got it straight now. Well, we're going in. Woohoo! Well, let's go through the doors. Look at this. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. Okay, y'all, let me get y'all some music, because I'm going to enjoy this and you all come on along for the ride. Well, my battery's running low, so while we finish looking and head to the counter to check out, I'm going to plug it in and then I'll get back with you. This is our bus stop. We're on our way back home. But we are going to stop and get a few things at the market. I think Miss Sophie needs to get some fish, and I need to get some chicken. And then I'm going home and I'll show you what I'm cooking. Well, we're home home and we're gonna cook some cooking in Malaysia. All right, here we go. We've got some garlic. We got some herb and cheese sauce, coconut cream. We got some Alfredo sauce, broccoli, fettuccine, and some onions and a little tomato. And over here, we've got our chicken soaking in turmeric and salt just to clean it real good. And we're going to start getting this meal put together. So let me get the pan and do what I do best. Well, as you can see, we got our pan. We just got a little crushed red pepper in here and some coconut oil, heating it up. And I'm going to need to get some things cut up before we come to this. Well, we're going to need to get this little onion cut up, number one. That's for sure. I'm just going to take all your ingredients that you're going to need to cut up, and you're going to get those in order first of all. Okay. Okay. Let's go. This onion cut up. You don't need much onion because you don't want the onion to take over the flavor of the Alfredo, but you do want the onion when you're gonna sear the flats. We're using the flats off of the wings. I didn't want to use the breast meat. It's just not succulent enough. I mean, I wanted the white meat, but I didn't want the meat to be dry. So I wanted to use a different type of meat. Not necessarily dark meat, but yeah. Well, that's what we chose anyway. Got those soaking, and I will take those out soon and get ready to naked fry them with these onions and the rest of the seasonings that we want to use. Okay, I've also got some garlic, and this is the peeled garlic. It's easier for me not have to peel it, so I just cut that end off of it. And then now this is to your liking. I like garlic, especially that garlicky chicken flavor. So that's perfect for me. Now remember, all this is going in with the chicken to get naked fried. Okay? So you're cutting up these for the seasoning for the chicken. Okay? Now you can peel this garlic any kind of way you want to get it so that it'll be a nice flavoring for your chicken. Okay? Okay, so we're going to get ready to put this with the rest of the seasonings we're going to use in this pan. All right. Just going to start adding this onion. You can see, couldn't tell before that the pan was hot, so you saw those onions drop in there. Okay. Now we've already cleaned the chicken. We're just pouring. I'm just going to go over here and pour this water that it was in off. Yeah. And that water off that chicken, which had turmeric and salt in it. Now you can season your chicken now or go ahead and start throwing it in the pan like I'm going to do. I'm just going to start throwing it in the pan. It kind of creeps me out because how the Then everything just, the heat makes it like cringe-like. But onion, as you know, opens up the pores of the meat. So I wanted to get my chicken in here and get that onion so they can start opening up the pores of this meat before I start adding all my good seasonings, because I want them to really stick. Now for me, this chicken's going to be a minute because I want to sear it all the way up. I mean, really get a good burn and get some good flavors in this meat. Now, of course, you're going to use a little salt to start with. Now, don't lose your mind. Okay. And we're going to use pepper, this coarse chili seasoning. Now, remember, you're in Malaysia, so the seasonings are not going to be exactly the same. So you're making your rendition of the chicken broccoli fettuccine, so you got to use what you can find. And that's the whole purpose of this series, is to show you when you're in another country, there's still a plethora of really good dishes and things that you can make. You just got to be creative with your seasonings and look around really well and find what you need. So it might not exactly be called what you're used to it being called, but you'll get it. You'll be able to come up with it. Now, I did use fresh garlic, but I am going to use some garlic powder. This is a brand here that you'll find that'll have a lot of different good seasonings that you'll be able to use when you're cooking in Malaysia. Okay? So let me just get this pack open. Okay, I'm going to use that garlic, and I'm looking around. I'm trying to see some other seasonings that you would use, which is going to think of the seasonings you would use if you were at home or wherever you're from and you were cooking the meal. You'll just think about using those same seasonings and just, either do it using your Google Translator and figuring out what it is, or just smelling it. And sometimes you can look at certain seasonings and you'll know what they are. But like I said, we're going to really cook this chicken. And okay, we also have another herb packet that says thyme leaves. I'm going to put a little bit of that in there. And then I think I have one other little mix that's like an Italian seasoning mix. I'm going to use that also. And each one of the seasonings, it's kind of like I just do it by eye. And if I sprinkle it around and it coats everything one good coating, that's about how much I'm going to use. Now, what that is in gram form, teaspoon form, I'm not for sure. You're going to have to eye it. I put it to you like this. If you got this amount of chicken, no more than a teaspoon. For me, you can never have enough seasoning. The seasoning is key to all of your dishes. Now, when I say seasoning, I'm not meaning salt. So don't come for me in the comments saying I can't have salt. We know this. So, everything's to flavor, and everything is also to your individual liking. So, we got to be mindful. There's things that you can or can't have, then omit them and add you something else. Cooking is very easy. Don't make it difficult, and you won't like it. It's easy. And it's all about trying something different. And you're going to what? You're going to make it your own. I'm cooking mine, but you want to add you a little something that's going to make it yours and not mine. You're learning. That's what we're doing. We're learning different dishes and different things from one another. But in the end, you want to make it your own. Okay. Now be mindful, this dish takes fettuccine noodles. So at this point, while you're waiting on this chicken to cook, now I got a pan here and I didn't get a top with it. So now I'm finding with some of my dishes, I'm having a little difficulty because I don't have a top to put on top to let it simmer. Oh, but don't worry. Like I said, you got to be creative. You just go get you some of that foil right there. You make your own top. That's all you got to do. It's real simple. Nothing's ever hard when it comes to cooking unless you make it hard. So we're going to cover this and we're going to get our fettuccine noodles on to boil while this is doing what it's going to do. It doesn't have to be real tight or real perfect, just enough to keep that steam in because you want to cook that. Okay, now that you've had that under there a minute, you just want to check it and you want to keep turning it. Now that you're seeing it starting to get a burn on it, you want to keep checking it and keep turning it. Because the more that burn you get on that, the better that chicken flavor is going to be. Now be mindful, this hasn't been in there long enough for the chicken to be done. So pay attention to your time. And like I said, just keep right on stirring this. You can't stir this too much. Okay? And actually, the intervals that you leave this on here and it gets a chance to burn on each side, that's what makes it really tasty. All right, now, I can hear a lot going on. Once you start hearing a lot going on, you know it's time for you to get it moving around. Okay. This, I wish you could smell it. This smells divine. Oh my goodness, it smells so delicious. Okay. Keep this going. Keep this over a little. Got another eye. We're going to put this on. We're going to go ahead and get our, put this on our other eye. Got our water. Get ready to boil these noodles. And the Baronia noodles is what we're using. Just going to open up this pack. I always have extra people that will stop by because they know I cook. So to compensate for that, I'm just going to put some more of these in here so we'll have plenty, because one thing I found is that with these noodles, whatever you don't use, honey, you can freeze them. They'll be already done for you. Matter of fact, that's one thing I do like about Malaysia. They have pasta, like already cooked pastas, different kinds. In a bag you can buy. It's not refrigerated or anything. It's like done. We're like, okay, I can do that. So we're going to let this get a boil and finish up with our chicken. Okay, well, we had some onions left over, so we're going to add the onions sliced like that, just like they are. And we're going to take that tomato, and we're just going to cube this up. You only need one tomato, and this will be fine. And this is going into the chicken that we're putting a burn on it. We're going to make this a part of that too. I don't have any sun-dried tomatoes, so to get that little sweet taste, I'm going to go ahead and use this tomato like this in order to do that. So we're going to head back over to the chicken and add these ingredients. And you can hear it. At this point, the chicken is done. Yeah, so, and my battery's done. So I'm just going to let you know. All you're going to do when that pasta is finished is pop that in there with the broccoli and the rest of the ingredients you have on. Stir it, simmer it just a little bit. Like I said, you just want to make sure that chicken is done. Everything else is done. And then this will be your meal. Now I'll catch you in the next one.
Stop.